Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you can hear that today. Watch the replay yesterday. Still working on technical issues. But good to see you. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And as usual, drink it. Drink it as you got it while I wait for some indication. Yes, there it is. Thank you, YouTube. I am live. Takes about 10 seconds when after I actually start the broadcast for my browser and my phone to actually start showing it. And it's a very tense 10 seconds. But now that that's out of the way, I can take a sip of my coffee. So join me. There we are. Tuesday morning. Tuesday, the day of the live streams for me. I do a live stream tonight at 8 o'clock. I do a live stream this morning. And in between those live streams today, I'm going to be a busy boy. I am actually going to Costco. I'm going to renew my membership. I have a 2:30 appointment with the optometrist. I'm going to start the process to get my new glasses. And hopefully that, and I know my eyes are better, and hopefully that will stop me from having to do this and this and this to read things on the computer screen. And it's overdue, and if I don't do it now, the year will go away. I'll lose that insurance money from this year to pay for the glasses. I'm going to bring Ellen in. She's sitting here patiently, and unmute your mic there, Ellen, and we'll bring you in. There she is.
Good
How you
morning,
doing?
everyone.
How are you?
I am great this morning. The sun is just coming up here in Wisconsin. And with all the trees, we've got lots of red light coming in.
Cool.
You know, that red light. Don't need to get any of those fancy, whoops, I moved. Fancy lights. Go outside. Free red light therapy.
There you go. There you go.
I apologize. I overslept this morning, and then I was trying something fancy out with my browser situation to get into the chat, and that wasn't working out. So I'm a little behind chat in saying hi to you all. So hi, everyone. I like to say hi to everyone individually, but probably not going to get you all today. So just know in my mind, I'm saying hello to everyone individually.
All right.
You all here.
I'm gonna put you up there in your perch,
okay,
and you can concentrate on the people in the chat. And if anybody has a question for me, I'm always happy to answer them. I have a few things I want to talk about this morning, kind of like the Mitch's morning news or Mitch's morning frustrations with the news, which is more apt. And I will watch up there in the corner to see if Ellen isn't trying to get my attention. So hopefully we won't miss anybody. That's the most important thing about these morning live streams is you guys.
Yes.
You guys. This is not for me, although I get a great deal of pleasure and out of the company. This is for you to see if we can't somehow help you the best we can, the best I can too. If you're having a problem, figure out what it is. If you're new at this, how to get started. So please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to ask questions. And Ellen, up there in your perch, to watch over me and make sure that
okay
that I'm doing things right. And I watched the replay yesterday's show, and other than the fact that you were a little loud, I think, and I asked you to lower your volume a little bit, and I won't even be able to know if that kind of equalizes your volume with mine until I watch the replay. But we're zeroing in on this stuff. Also, I am having a problem. I love to play that music, but I'm having a problem figuring out how to get it integrated in this stream out here in my basically portable studio on my screen porch. So let me do this. Let me say hi to some people first. And as more 90 people so far. Wow. 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 Let me start saying hi to people that were here. The first person in was Terry. Terry at 6:47. Holy cow. Good morning, Mitch, and the rest of the, what did you call us? Shish kebabs. Terry, I'm glad to see that you like variety in your meats because you call us a different meat every day. Mark Booz is here. How you doing, Mark? Good morning, Mitch and friends, he says. Mike Seeley, father of United Carnivore, beat his son in this morning. Wow, that's unusual. Good morning, Mike. Good to see you. And like everybody else, I'm looking forward to our meetup, which is really growing, and I think it's going to be something. This Friday in Melbourne, 11:30 at the, is it, yeah, Terra Gaucha, I think that's what it is. Maybe not. At any rate, it's a Brazilian steakhouse in the Melbourne Square Mall in Melbourne, Florida, 11:30. Tonight on the live stream, I'll be talking about the location and everything like that. And if you are coming, please RSVP to me at oldguycarnivore@gmail.com sometime, maybe before the end of tomorrow, so we can really give the restaurant a head start and know exactly. We're having trouble zeroing in, but it's beginning to look like it's going to be 30 or more people at the thing with Kiltz and his crew coming, and Dr. Nelson Vasquez is going to be there. And I think it's going to be great fun. I think it's going to be great fun. Dixie Scott, good morning to you. Says good morning, all up with the chickens. Yes, aren't we all? That's kind of a carnivore thing to do. Get up with the meat. Get up with the animals. Don Schonger, good morning. How you, Don? And Richard Williams, my friend from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Always good to see you. And Rick is early today. Charger Mopar. Good to see you. Good to see you. Quack time coming soon. Yes. Yes. William McCartney. Hi, William. Hello, everyone. Have a beautiful day. We intend to. And let me see who else I haven't said hi to yet. Laurie's Carnivore Story, and that is Carney Laurie. I told you yesterday she's got a new YouTube channel. She said, oh my God, I almost missed it. I slept in. See that, Ellen? You're not the only one. Good morning to Mitch and everyone. Glad to have you here. CB Carmack, Sheriff from Alabama. Good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Mitch. Drink it because I know you got it. Yes, sir, Sheriff. Officer, anything you say. Something about coffee in the morning. Andre is here. Hi, Andre. Good to see you. Good morning, fellow carnivores. And Andre is from Northwest Montana. Terry Wilson says, good morning, Mitch and Ellen. We have many Terrys, too. We have Marks, we have Terrys. Good morning, Mitch and Ellen. Got my coffee. Going to be a good day. Hello, everyone, she says. Great. Bill Streety is here. Hi, Bill. How you doing? Good morning to Mitch and everyone. It's a beautiful morning in Northwest Arkansas, Ozarks. I'll bet it is. That's really pretty up there. Really pretty. And Satya is here. Good morning. How you doing, Satya? Good to see you. Always good to see you. Let's see. Paul McGrogan. Hi, Paul. Good morning to you. And Ellen finally got settled down and chimed in the chat. I've already said good morning to Ellen about she actually comes in with me about 15 to 20 minutes before we go live, and we have an opportunity to talk about what's going to happen, any little fixes we need to make. So Ellen and I get a chance to have a nice chat every morning, and believe it or not, I look forward to that too. Wanda Gerling says, good morning, everyone. And everybody's saying hi to everybody. Boyd Lamb is here. Hey, good morning, Boyd. Good to see you. Scoops. Hey there, Scoops. She called you Ingrid. I guess it's the hair. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That hair's funny. Lewis L is here. Good morning, Lewis. How you doing? Good morning. Driving past LaGuardia Airport on the way to work. Oh, Lewis L is in New York. New York. How you doing, New York? Forget about it. Moorhen is here. How you doing? Moorhen is a woman. I never knew that. I never knew that. And she actually told me the other day and told me her name, and I said I would try to remember it. And I think, and I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Anne. And if I got that right, give me a round of applause, Anne, if it's Anne. And if I got that wrong, tell me again. Names have always been hard for me to remember until I have to interact on a first name basis with somebody 3 or 4 times. Once I've done that, I remember pretty much forever. And most of the people in the chat will attest to that, that I know who they are and I know their first names, but messed them up the first couple times. So it's great to see you. Great to see you. I think it's Anne. Going out on a limb here. Papa Carnivore, Peter. How you doing, Peter? Good to see you. Good to see you as usual. I can't wait to meet you guys on Friday morning. Meathead is here. Still one of my favorite handles. Good to see you, Meathead. He says, good morning, all. Sin is here. Good morning. We have Chessie's Adventure. Good morning, Mitch and everyone. Sandy Blythe, how you doing, Sandy? Good to see you. Ellen is saying hi to everybody. Greg Smith is here. Hi, Greg. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here this morning. Isn't this a great way to start the day? I think so. I think so. I'm going to show you. I don't know if I showed you yesterday, but the studio of mine out here on the patio is growing. It's growing, and I'm afraid I may even have to add more equipment to it to make it do and be able to do what I'm going to. And what's going to end up happening is it would be a lot more convenient for me to puff on a cigar in my regular studio and do this. But I don't want to. So I'm in the process, it seems, of duplicating that massive setup that I have inside. Which aside is stupidity, but maybe I am a little OCD on these things. I just want them to be clear. I want the audio to be good. I want the video to be pleasing. I want everything to go off without a hitch. And Ellen told me this morning, and we were talking about it, and she says, to me, and I hope this is true for a lot of you, the content and the message is the most important thing. And if I had to watch you sitting on your couch, hand holding a selfie cell phone, and the audio was scratchy, I would still watch. So I thank you for that, Ellen. I guess there's still that little bit of cinematographer and showman in me that wants to try to make it right. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. We're getting down to 2 minutes after we went live in the chat. Satya says, Ellen, you look so fresh. Well, yeah, she just got out of bed. I got a chuckle out of her. Polish Mike is here. How you doing, Polish Mike? Good to see you. I enjoyed your recent video on Carnivore YouTubes that care more about views than their own health. I could not agree more with you on everything you said. Well, it's a thing about all YouTubers. I mean, most YouTubers, we get caught up. And it's not just YouTube. People get caught up in celebrity. Politicians get caught up in celebrity. and ego takes over and motives take over. And I suppose it's happened to me a little bit too. You get proud of yourself, get a little cocky. I try not to, but that's common, and that's common. And the sad fact is that, and I hate to say this, most most average people who decide it's time to jump in on carnivore, and I'm an average guy too, uh, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it, and I hesitated for a year on carnivore before I said, okay, I think I can spread the message because I'd learned so much, and I thought that I had something unique to offer. But most people on carnivore are just going on. They make the channel because they're so excited. They're so proud of themselves that they just want to tell their story, because when they tell their story to their friends and neighbors, they think they're crazy. So there is a proliferation of carnivore YouTubers that aren't too knowledgeable in the why it works or the biochemistry or the physiology. They just know that when they eat meat, things get better, and they just want to keep telling their story. And unfortunately, most of them end up coming and going. But I can tell you this from personal experience, that you can get desperate as a YouTube provider and start doing the wrong things, and that desperation shows. So you start doing things more for the sake of keeping your channel alive. And that's your comment there, Mike, when people start to appear like they're more concerned about their views. And it's not, I don't think, anything selfish. I think it's just disappointment. Disappointment. And I suffer that same disappointment every time I see my subscriber count go down. I've reconciled myself with that. And I live with it. And sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. I can't take that as a sign that I'm not doing good. What I take as a sign that I'm doing good is if a certain core group of people, like you, people that are here today, continue to come here. And I can't help everybody. Most people think I'm way too hard. They're nowhere near ready to give up their addictions yet. They're still looking for some way to have their cake and eat it too. And if I can't tell them that, they don't want to watch me. And I don't want them to watch me until they're ready. They're ready to face what the real cause of the fact that they've been yo-yo dieting their entire life. Anyway, long answer just to say hello to you, Mike, but it was a great comment. Eddie Edwards is here. How you doing, Eddie? Good to see you. Another great day to be a carnivore. Every day. I planned my food for the day. I opened my freezer this morning. I took a ribeye, a pound of ground beef, and three chicken thighs out of the freezer. Excuse me. Put them in the refrigerator to defrost. I will have bacon and eggs at about right before noon. I'll then go to the eye doctor. I'll come home. If it hasn't defrosted in the fridge yet, I will take out either the chicken thighs or the 1 pound of ground beef, and that's going to be my dinner. That's how much time I spent planning my meals, preparing for them, and thinking about it. Absolutely the amount of time it takes to grab 3 things out of the freezer and put them in the refrigerator. There is no lifestyle less focused on food than carnivore. Wow, a little dry throat. I know what I need. I know what'll fix that. Believe it or not, I'm going to take this time right now. I'm almost done saying hi. I got a question from Meatitudes. I'm going to leave it on the screen. But I want you all to excuse me. Is it going to play? Yes, it is. Okay. I hope you can hear that. And excuse me while I light my cigar. Thank you. Thank you for putting up with that for me. I appreciate it. Question, Meat-a-Twos. How long did it take for your eye floaters to go away? You know, some of these subtle changes that happen to us on Carnivore, like how long did it take you for your addictions to completely stop bothering you? How long before your digestive tract really settled down and evened out? Those changes happen so gradually that you don't really notice the incremental improvements every day. And then when people ask me a question like that, I have to say, sometime between 3 months and 2 years. I know that doesn't narrow it down very much. I know that it's a nebulous answer. When did I first notice it? I would say somewhere after the first 3 or 4 months doing this. Because by their very nature, eye floaters, our brain processing the visual information from our eyes, will make you ignore things it doesn't expect, and you don't perceive them. It's like having tinnitus or tinnitus, however you choose to pronounce it, a ringing in your ears. I've had that all my life. My brain, in processing sound, pretty much takes that out of my conscious awareness. So I don't notice it unless I focus on it. And I never really noticed my eye floaters unless I focused on it. And now if I try to look for them, they're not there. So I know they're gone. But I think it was sometime after 3 months, maybe up to 6 months. So I hope that's about the best I can do on that. And I hope that helps you out. Duck River Mama, how you doing? Believe it or not, I'm in the chat down to 4 minutes since the stream started. That was almost 25 minutes ago. I think, Ellen, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've said hi to most people that were here at the beginning. Here's Beth is here. How you doing, Beth? Julia Wigger, good to see you. Said afternoon.
Yes.
I heard you unmuted your mic there, Ellen.
I did. I was just answering your question. I think, or going to answer your question. I think you did, and I'm a little behind. I apologize to the chat because I was having some trouble accessing it, but I'm getting caught up myself. So it's a great group, and CB Carmack just gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, I'll get to that. Great. Thank you, CB. And thank you for letting me know. And yeah, please let me know about those things. That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Okay, mute your mic again. Ellen and I have decided that there is something when she has her mic unmuted and makes even the slightest noise, it mutes my audio right in the middle of me talking, and we have to do it that way. It's not that I don't want to hear her. I'm just trying to figure out how to make this as pleasant as possible. Because I did have a comment the other day where somebody actually said, your audio is so bad I simply can't watch your stream. I'm out of here. Ah, God. Critics. Everybody's a friggin' critic. Gary Williams is here, says hi, how you doing? And I think I got everybody else. Who is this? Abiding Eve. Hi, how you doing? Didn't say hi to you, Jen S. People keep pouring in, and I really would love to be able to say hi to everybody, but if I did that, then it would be 9:30 and I would have to say goodbye, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stop right now saying hi to everybody in the chat. I'm going to go over to my little notes of things that I wanted to talk about today.
Quick, I'm going to interrupt you quick.
Yes.
Because being the professional show that this is, we do not want to proliferate false news. And I just gave out false news. I apologize, chat. I really need some coffee. This CB was not the gifter of those memberships. It was Mark C.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. I
I'm going back
appreciate
up
that.
into my corner now for a timeout.
Okay, thank you. And we love CB. We love CB either in any case. And Mark C, thank you so much, my friend.
Okay.
All right. And I have a bad habit, and I know it, of talking over people if I think they're finished and they're not. And I'm working on that too. We all have faults. All right, I gotta make sure I already said it. You all know about our meetup Friday and RSVPing if you want to come. If you want to come. Yesterday I did something, and I just wanted to know, and you can comment on it or not, or in the comments later on the replay of this live stream, you can comment on it. I actually did something that Anthony Chafee does almost every day, and I think it's great. And so many times in live streams, I know I just go on, drivel, saying hi to people, but sometimes I go off, and I don't want to call it a rant, but a speech, answering a question that turns out to be much better, much more concise, and I'm doing it live, unrehearsed. And very few people ever get to see it on important topics like addiction and cheating, which I did on my last live stream on Saturday. And I said, that was 15-minute speech. That was a great speech. And very few people will see it because between the live viewers and the replays, I maybe get 1,000 people out of 37,000 subscribers that actually see that. And that I turned into a standalone video, which makes it more of a legacy thing that's going to be out there. And people will continue to watch that as long as this channel is alive. Whereas a live stream comes and goes and dies. Nobody goes back and watches 2-year-old live streams. But people are still watching my video on how to throw a chuck roast in a slow cooker. 200 and something thousand views. Those are, we call them legacy videos. So I did it once or twice before, and I never got a big view count on it, but I think it might have been because of the subject matter. But I thought that this was so important, that little speech I gave, that I made the video. And I think, if I remember correctly on the thumbnail, I made sure people knew it was about cheating. And while it hasn't gone wild, it did get about an average or a little more than average number of views that my videos get, but it'll be there for a while. I want you to know, I want a little feedback on whether you think that's cheating or I'm taking shortcuts if I do that, or you think that that's actually a good way to memorialize something I may have said in answer to a question that really came out good. I'm curious about your feedback. I'm going to ignore any bad feedback. I want you to know that in advance, but I'm still interested to know what you think. Sorry about that. So on the news this morning, headlines: meat recall, 12 million pounds of meat with listeria. 12 million pounds of meat. What kind of meat was this? This was processed, boxed, packaged, frozen, ready-to-eat dinners from some company that are being sent to schools, big contracts, things like that. May be available in your supermarket, but they did recall all this meat. Now, 12 million pounds sounds like a lot, but it's a drop in the bucket when you consider the amount of food consumed in this country. But I had a chuckle, and the first thought that came to my mind was, there you go. If you're going to eat meat, buy meat. Buy meat. Don't buy some crap that comes out the back end of some huge processing factory. God knows what's going to happen to it. Just go buy meat. Even if it's frozen, it's okay. If it's just meat. But the minute these food companies start fooling with it, manipulating it, adding their chemicals and additives and everything else they put in it, preservatives, sugar. They always add sugar because they want to make sure that that addiction of yours gets fed, so you keep buying that crap. You run the risk of poisoning yourself even more. So it's kind of ironic that you buy poisonous food, which is poisonous to start with, because you know that there's a hell of a lot more than just meat in those prepackaged dinners. And then they give you a little listeria bacteria on top of it as if you haven't been poisoned enough. So I don't know whether I was sickened by the thought of that or got a chuckle out of it. Got a chuckle out of that. And right immediately after that happened, up came 8 or 10 political advertisements punctuated by lawyer advertisements and car advertisements on the morning news. And I say to myself, why the hell are you watching this, Mitch? And I think of all the advice I get. People say, just don't watch it. But if I hadn't watched it, I wouldn't have been able to tell you about that listeria story. And that is why I watch it. I want to know what's going on in the world. And I got my morning update on the suitcase trial. Have to know about that, and other things, other drama. It's like, remember when O.J. Simpson, the whole world was glued to the TV. You know, I mean, I can't do anything because the O.J. trial is going to be on all day. We do get caught up in that kind of drama, and this is another one of those things. But it's just so unbelievable, so unbelievable. So let's see what we got here. We have live chat. I want to go down and I want to find, I'm going to continue to go down the chat and see if there's a question. Ellen, have you seen any questions? Just no. Okay. You don't have to talk to me. You can and unmute your mic and go through all that. You can just shake your head. I can see you sitting up there in the corner. Andre and Papa Carnivore are having a conversation. Cindy, thank you. I like to have things that happen to me validated, knowing that they happen to other people. Oh my God. If I had my sound effects right now with the cheering crowd, I would pat myself on the back. I would pat myself on the back. Can you imagine? And I will tribute Carnivore and the effect it's had on my mind and my memory. That I actually, after 3 or 4 days, reading one comment from Ann, remembered her name. You don't know this. You don't understand the significance of that to me. I could be talking to somebody face to face. I've been this way since I've been 12. I could be talking to somebody face to face. And I would say, what's your name? Oh, I'm Mike. Well, hi, Mike. I'm Mitch. Oh, look what happened. My phone went ka-ching. I was going to turn that off this morning and just thank everybody for the coffees at the very end, that I forgot, but it went ka-ching. So I have an opportunity to thank Marvin. Marvin, thank you so much. Bought me a coffee, and the message says coffee for you. I appreciate that. You know why I appreciate that? Because this cup's getting about empty. I need another coffee right now. Thank you so much. And I am going to take this opportunity, seeing as Marvin brought it up, I am going to take this opportunity for a short shameless plug. If you feel the need to buy me a coffee, and God, I hope you do once in a while, because I always need coffee. there's a link, buymeacoffee.com/oldguycarnivore.com. And the link is everywhere. It's in all the descriptions of my videos because I'm shamelessly promoting myself. So thank you for that. And that's enough said. But thank you, Marvin. I really appreciate that, my friend. Where was I? I was in the comments. There they are. And people are talking about, oh, here's one. Cindy Braddock is here. Hi, good morning. Ellen, 4 hours of sleep, but I'm here. Well, good for you. You're a trooper. Way to hang in there. And wow, how did I get to the bottom of the chat all of a sudden? But I do see, oh, there it is, Cindy Braddock. Okay. Somehow I got all the way down to the bottom. I want to try to find the where Mark C bought the 5 private community memberships, and I don't see it in here. Well, I haven't gotten far. There it is. Mark, thanks so much. Mark single-handedly keeps that private community of mine circulating with new members who get a chance to try it out, and it's a lot of fun. It's become a great community. It's become a great community. Let me go back into the chat here and see if I can find that in the chat itself so I can tell you who. No, I don't think it's going to go back that far for me. I always like to tell you who the new members are, but I don't think I can go back that far. Nope. Let me go down a little bit and see. No, I can't. That's the problem with the chat on my phone and maybe even on your browsers. Doesn't allow you to go back that far, but the one I have that StreamYard presents to me does. It lets me go all the way back. Any questions yet? I'm looking. And if there's no questions, and I've told you everything that about the news that I want to tell you, then I will just interact with you guys, which is what I really enjoy. Andre says, Mitch will have to call you Puff Daddy. No. Ribeye Susie's here. How you doing, Ribeye Susie? Good to see you. Good to see you. And Lat. Hey, Lat. Good to see you. Avoiding you, we can say beef. Okay, so you're talking to each other.
Mitch, I have the memberships if you did want.
Yeah, great. Why don't you read them out and let me make you big so everybody can see you. Go ahead. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay. So thank you to Mark C for gifting memberships to Riverboat Sam. Does not play well with others.
I like that.
Gypsy Soul, Sybil V, and DC Learning to Live. I know he has a YouTube channel. So
really, I recognize some of those names. Sometimes when these things are gifted. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sometimes when these things are gifted, I don't recognize any of them, which is great. But Mark, I appreciate what you're doing because whether you realize it or not, and there are a few other people that buy me that actually gift 5 memberships, but you're the main benefactor of that, and I attribute the growth of the private community so much to what you're doing, and right now we have, I think it's like 225 or more members in this private community, which is incredible when you think about it. It's incredible. And so many of these members now, we're starting to see the yellow badges. That means they've been in for more than 6 months, and some red badges, which mean they've been there for a year. And the thing is just turned a year old. So many of the original people, the original members that have become friends of mine over that year and participate in the live streams and come into the panel, people that we've actually had a chance to meet face to face, get to know each other. And I think we all benefit. I think we all benefit from that. So thank you again, Mark. Really appreciate that. Felix, Latino coffee and a Cuban cigar. Well, ideally, Felix, that would be that would be the deal. But for me, it's a Nicaraguan cigar and donut shop K-cup coffee, which is perfectly fine, perfectly fine. Hey, Barb Stokes, how you doing, Barb? Hearing it live. That's great, great, good to see you. Peter, this is disturbing. Peter says, I just found out that a guy I've been working with for 10 years just went into hospice. He's only 52 years old. Oh, that's a tragedy. 10 years younger than me. He's been in the hospital for 2 weeks and went downhill. I couldn't believe it. That's so sad. And the trend, unfortunately, because of what's going on, and all you got to do is listen to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talk about it, is what they're doing to our kids. This is just killing any future that the current young generation of kids may have. They are indeed the sugar generation. And it's very sad because it's too late for most of them. They're addicted, and I say this all the time. They're addicted by the time they're 2. By the time they're 1, they're addicted from the baby formula they're fed. They started out and weaned onto a low-fat, high-carb diet right from the very beginning. And even if it's not ultra-processed foods, it's still not enough meat, protein, and animal fats. And we have doomed that entire generation to a lifetime of struggle, of becoming diabetic and obese. And you all heard me go down this path before in this speech. The only hope we have is to somehow shock those that will become new parents from here on out. Shock them into reality, educate them as to what they're doing wrong, somehow shame the industries and government agencies that are perpetuating this on the human race, so that they, from day one, or even before day one, that even during the time of pregnancy, they can be eating right, nourishing their bodies to make a healthy baby. And from day one, after that baby is born, that they make sure it never, never, ever can associate a sweet taste with something rewarding or a treat. Never be encouraged by being given a sweet treat when they do something that their parents want them to do. You are, when you do that from day one, doing the same thing as somebody with a dog does that throws them a doggy treat when they do a trick. That's how you're treating your kids, and you don't know it because you're following all your doctor's advice. You're following all those fabulous things on all these government websites. Your obstetrician is telling you what to feed your baby. I don't know how to fix this. I know what the fix is. How to how to accomplish that fix, well, that's another story. At this point in time, with the current setup we have and the current propaganda level that we have and what has been accepted as common knowledge and everyone knows, it's impossible to fix. And the only fix would be people like Ken Berry, who know what the hell the problem is, have had new babies, and are making sure that their own children are going to grow up to be supermen. And they will. If you've seen his little Bonnie Blue, this kid is 1 year old and unbelievable healthy baby. And never and eat, it eats meat and mother's milk. How do we get that message out? I harp on this message of addiction, and it has subscribers running to the hills. They unsubscribe from me. new ones come on, and others. So my subscriber count is pretty well static right now. It stays pretty much where it is. I gain 10, lose 10, gain 10, lose 10. It's been, it was maybe 20 higher a week ago, but I don't worry about that because subscribers are not followers on YouTube. Everybody thinks that when you have a subscriber that these people actually are following you. Most of those 30-some thousand people forgotten who I am long ago. The same way that we all have forgotten the thousands of people we've subscribed to over the years that have disappeared and we never think of or hear of again. It's the followers I care about. And I only care about the followers who are willing to accept the reality that the things I'm saying are true and may not be what they want to hear. People run from things they don't want to hear. Everybody I've talked to about carnivore out there in the world runs from it. They run from it with the same excuses. Well, that may work for you, but I believe that everything in moderation is okay and that you have to eat a balanced diet. You have to eat the rainbow. I believe that I'm not going to do what you're doing, even though I'm sick and fat and a diabetic. That's not what causes it. It's not my diet. It's genetics. I know that because the doctor told me. I know that because I see the doctor once a month so he can, give me my shots and my medication. And you're crazy. And that's why people unsubscribe and people run and people don't want to hear it because they're addicts. An addict does not want to hear in any situation or circumstance that there's something wrong with him, that he has a problem. You ask any addict, ask any alcoholic, are you an alcoholic? Do you consider yourself No, not me. Not me. I can stop anytime I want. I am a strong person. I have willpower. I have self-control. Ask any carbohydrate addict. Do you think eating all that crap is hurting you? Do you think you're an addict? Do you think you're a carbohydrate addict? They'll either say, no, there's no such thing. It's never been proven. There are no studies. There are no studies that show that carbohydrate addiction is actually a real thing. I'm not a carbohydrate addict. I can stop eating desserts and sweet things anytime I want because I am a strong person and in control of my body, and I have free will and I have willpower. And in my mind, when I hear that speech, and I've heard it so many times, I'm laughing inside. How ignorant this person is. Not stupid. Might be a brilliant person, but ignorant of the reality of what's actually controlling them. It took me a lifetime to discover that. And one of the reasons why maybe I'm not the most popular YouTuber is because I won't back down from that. I know that it is why all those people are failing. I know it as sure as I live. I talked about different levels of carbohydrate addiction, that if you're not a stone flaming carbohydrate addict, yes, you may be able to exercise some self-control. More than likely you can, like a casual drinker can. And that's great for you. But I think that more of us than we ever imagined are actually so, I don't want to say hardly addicted, but so stone addicted to carbs that we don't know it and can't recognize it. But it's evidenced by the fact that we all have, ask anybody, why are you here? Well, I want to lose weight and get healthy. How bad do you want to lose weight and get healthy? I want to lose weight and get healthy. It's more than anything else in my life that I might wish for. Well, except maybe for having a little more sex. But other than that, I want to lose weight. So why haven't you lost weight yet? Why are you 65, 70 years old and still haven't gotten what you wanted, when all you need to do to get what you want is stop eating the foods you're eating? Why? And nobody can answer that question because they don't know. They just know that every time they try to follow somebody's diet plan, they fall off the wagon and end up gaining all the weight back. Every time they try to get a new gym membership and work out more, eat less, they know that they suffer. It's torture. They don't like it. And nobody can maintain or sustain anything they don't like for a lifetime. And it is all attributable to the fact that they cannot control their addiction. Nobody can control their addiction. You have to do what they call hack it. You have to understand how it works and what the things that you can do are to interfere with what it's doing to you. As far as carnivore concerned, it's very simple. Don't let yourself get hungry when you're first starting. Your body has to learn things. It takes about 30 to 60 days for your body and your brain to learn it doesn't need the sugar. Until it learns it doesn't need the sugar, you cannot control your addictions. You cannot control the actions that your addictions make you do, like eating crap. You do it unconsciously, and in your conscious mind, you're making excuses. You're negotiating with yourself. We've heard this. We've all done it. I've done it so many times. I remember the times. I remember sitting there negotiating with myself. Well, Mitch, one last time. We're going to definitely get serious about this tomorrow. How many people have done that? Do you think you're in control when that's happening? Somebody who so desperately wants to lose weight and get healthy? Do you think that you are actually in charge of the thoughts that are going through your mind? If you do, you're not there yet. You have not accepted reality yet. And you can see it in virtually everybody. And if I talk about nothing else, I try to throw the recipes in there. I certainly want to make the how to execute carnivore, how to deal with your food, how to shop. But everybody's doing that. Everybody else is doing that. You don't need me for that. If I come up with a cute little idea, I'll tell you, but you don't need me for that. If I have any kind of a calling to be here every day and talk to people, there's two of them, I think. Number one is we all need support. We need a community. That is so very, very important. We need to know that we're not alone, because in our immediate physical sphere, there is nobody doing what we're doing. Nobody. You ever want to feel alone? Go into a restaurant as a carnivore and try to order only carnivore food. People will look at you like you're out of your mind. But in a community like this, 140 people sitting here watching me, listening to me rant about addiction as if you hadn't heard it before, you're among like-minded people. You're chatting away in the chat. You're helping each other. It's an incredibly important part. It's why we're doing these meetups. It's all about support. Very important. The other thing is you have to learn the mechanics of it. And the fact that I harp on addiction is I'm firmly convinced that that is the root cause of all the behavior I've observed, not only from myself, but everybody else I know, as pointed out by that video I talked about. You know which one, where he went off the wagon. A highly respected carnivore YouTuber who can't do it himself because he hasn't learned yet that he's an addict. He might pay lip service to the fact that he's an addict, but if he really understood what that addiction was doing to him and how it was controlling him, he would know better than to cheat under any circumstances for any occasion. There is nothing in his life important enough for him to cheat and ruin the physiological advances that he's made and fought for with such hard work. That was my message. So I'm going to keep doing it in detriment to my YouTube income, in detriment to my channel popularity, in detriment to my subscriber count, but not in any way in detriment to my conscience, not to my conscience, so that I can go to bed at night proud of myself, knowing I'm giving it my best shot at trying to focus people on the real causes as I have discovered them in my, and here's the most important words out there, in my opinion. So if you listen to me and you take anything I take seriously, that's your decision of whether you respect my opinion or not. And I work very hard to gain that respect. And I hope that's meaningful to you. So that was another one of those long things that just starts to come out. And I'm kind of glad something like that happens. I like to have some motivational thing or some meaningful advice come out of these live streams every day, and I'm doing them every day, and I enjoy doing them every day. So, Ellen, we got 5 minutes left. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the chat, and if I missed anybody who is here, this chat is huge. Look at it; it just keeps going. Keeps going. Here's what Terry, I like. This is the last entry in the chat. Mitch likes to spank carb addicts. He needs a wooden spanking spoon, like the one I had when my kids were little. I think you may be. I think you may be right. I think you may be right. I think you may be right. And who is this here at the bottom? This is Rich. No, not Rich. Dixie. Dixie Scott. Hi, Dixie. Dixie says, I used to follow a couple trainers and they started saying no one is addicted to sugar. Yes, because it doesn't follow. You see, these people whose livelihoods and channels basically go around the more exercise, move more, eat less philosophy can't acknowledge that maybe it's not that. Maybe that's not what the problem is. Maybe these people, maybe it's not inadequate movement and too much food. Maybe the problem lies somewhere else. And the problem lies, like I say, in the fact that we are animals who have evolved from a long line of animals that had no conscious minds and had to be motivated into action by their subconscious mind feeding them feelings and urges. We still work the same way physiologically. We are compelled to act by an urge to do anything. The strongest urge we get is sexual. After that, we get urges when danger is perceived. That's our self-preservation. Those are the two strongest motivators of any animal. Survive and reproduce. After that, what else is really important in perpetuating life? You got to survive and you got to reproduce. After that, what books you write aren't really important to nature. And nature is where we came from. Chemistry. It's a sad fact. We have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that. That's enough harping on that for today. Cindy Braddock says, I've been following a channel where the creator is heavier than a year ago. Keto carb addict starts putting the carbs in bit by bit. Yes, yes. And some of these people who have these channels on how to be healthy, they're like so many other people in this world. And they don't do it on purpose. They don't realize it. They still think that they're helping people, and they may very well be, but their attitude is, do what I say, not what I do. It took me a year before I started this channel because I wanted to make sure that I could say, do what I do, not just what I say. Anybody can pay lip service to it. And believe it or not, the pride of not giving up on that has been a great motivator for me to be conscientious about this, to be harder on myself. Having this YouTube channel has contributed to the things that make it easier for me to remain on carnivore, because I would be ashamed of myself. Ashamed. I would probably just quit on the spot if I was ever in the position to have to make a video that said, I screwed up, I cheated, I went on a binge, because I owe people who follow me better than that. And I wouldn't blame everybody for unsubscribing en masse if I ever did that, because why would you want to listen to a guy that can't practice what he preaches? Now, here's the good news. Here's the real good news. And I'm going to end this today. I'm going to end this on that good news. But before I do, I'm going to fire up my cigar. No music, but firing it up. There you go. The good news is that when I just said I practice what I preach, it requires no effort on my part. That's the beauty of carnivore. And that's the thing that everybody will learn if you just do it long enough, if you just don't cheat long enough, if you hang in there long enough, if you eat the right foods long enough, it will become a pleasure, not a chore. There will be nothing tugging at you, no urges, no cravings to make you want to do anything else. It will become the easiest and most natural thing you've ever done. I've experienced that because I was able to stick to it. Having this YouTube channel helped in some respect sticking to it. But the end result, the final goal, the goalpost, the touchdown, is the fact. It gets easier the longer you do it until it gets effortless. That's a truth. That's a truth that I finally discovered, and it only took 77 and a half years on this planet. It is a truth, because if it wasn't a truth, it would not have happened to me. I can't be the only human animal that will respond to doing this and sticking to it on this planet. The odds of that would be too great. So I'm going to close it out. I'm going to say goodbye to Ellen. I'm going to do it without music today because it's just a hassle, and I don't know if it came out right, and I want to see how it came out in the beginning. Ellen, I will bring you back in to say goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye, Mitch, and goodbye, everyone. It was a lively chat today. Lively discussion. It was great. People are just loving that message that you have, Mitch.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. And if there's if there's only fewer of us, that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter to me, because I'm just happy somebody is listening to what I'm saying and thinking about it and maybe benefiting from it. It's not an easy thing to overcome.
No, I think a lot of people are listening, and a lot of people.
Well, thanks, Ellen.
Appreciate
it.
You're welcome. Bye. You have a great day, Mitch. Good luck with your eyes, and everybody in chat, have a great day. Thanks,
Ellen, and I will see you in the morning. Okay. Bye. And that just leaves me, everybody. And again, we're 5 minutes over, but that's fine. 145 people still here. Somebody's getting this message, and that is so gratifying to me. So gratifying to me. So for the rest of you, I'm down to my last couple sips of coffee. This was my first cup of the day. I may make another cup and enjoy my cigar and watch the replay of this. And that's going to be how I start my day. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you have a great day. If you have weather like we have here, enjoy it. I understand it's a little warm, seasonally warm up north for this time of year. Enjoy it while you got it. Everybody in the chat, thanks so much. I I haven't seen a chat this busy. God, it's been a long time. I mean, scrolling up and down in this thing is crazy. So the last ones I see in the chat: Felix, Pamela Suarez, Meatitudes, Susan Courtney, Lat, Polish Mike, Gregory Smith, Wanda Gerling. All you guys have a great day. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.